Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of The Boundary Line. It is 2020 edition. Thank you so much for returning with us. I guess we can say compliments of the new season to our South African viewers. I replay it up until January, South Africa. Anyway, I am not alone. I am with the usual suspect, my co-host, Mr. Bakang Phale.
Wow. Compliments to you here, to our South African viewers and the rest. As per South African tradition, we do that until end of Jan or February, depending. So yeah, man, it's good to be back with another edition of The Boundary Line. Baba, let's do it.
Okay, man. Let's get down to it. We are in the World Cup year. It is the T20 World Cup that will be happening in India and Sri Lanka. But it seems, as always, the Asian geopolitical issues has embroiled us. What is your view in all of that, Mr. Bakang Phale? I know you are feeling very strongly about this, but this one, it's the usual suspect, India. It's a different victim, Bangladesh.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've seen this movie play before, and then we're having another sequel of the same, because there's always a common denominator here. And in all honesty, with history that comes with that, I mean, the geopolitical shouldn't be interfering with sporting world in particular. And in Asia, unfortunately, it's interfering with cricket, the most loved game there. So we've seen that with the previous edition where Pakistan hosted, India didn't play there, and ICC granted them to play in Dubai. And then now we have a similar situation with Bangladesh, and then Bangladesh were replaced just like that. So in all of this, I think there's lack of consistency when it comes to the cricketing governing board, because some are being granted, some are not being granted. So you kind of ask yourself, where's the balance? Or the financial muscle is the one playing power, which is bringing this beautiful game into disrepute, man, to be quite honest. If not every country is being treated equally, and the cricketing world is quiet about it. It's only the commentators, the cricket commentators and the cricket enthusiasts, but the affiliated member associations are quiet about this whole thing happening. It's just business as usual, man. It shouldn't be, to be quite honest.
Because it is shameful, man. It is shameful, even for Scotland to just accept as that, because one thing that I don't like is when someone is raising their concerns, you just invalidate them. People need to be listened to, people need to be heard, and ICC cannot go into the negotiating table with the attitude. We are calling it a negotiation table, for a reason. You can be saying that if you, Bangladesh, if you don't want to come and play, we have Scotland that will play. And Scotland shamelessly accepted that, because I don't think they want their cricket development in their country, to be tainted by this. And ICC doesn't cover itself in glory, man, in so many times. And it is so shameless. And what you said, it is so important. Why are the cricketing playing nation keeping quiet about this? Because it was Pakistan, now it is Bangladesh. The question is, who is next?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. You ask yourself who's next and how are they gonna be treated when they raising their issues, man. So, are we gonna say again, the common denominators will always win this battle race because it
Yeah.
it gives you that there's no cricket without India, if I can put it
Yeah.
in blatant. Understand?
I
And
guess.
funny enough,
Mm,
and a funny note, there's one thing again that uh, it's concerning because now it's being co-hosted between India and Sri Lanka. And the previous one was only Pakistan, but only India was granted that. And I'm sure the plea that Bangladesh made was that let us play in Sri Lanka, which is part of the hosting nation. It shouldn't have been an issue compared to what was happening with the previous Champions Trophy, man. So you kind of sit back and say, okay, are we now fueling what the cricketing world has been saying that ICC stands for India Cricketing Council?
ICC must stop this animal farm syndrome whereby all animals are the same, but some animals are more equal than the other.
No, absolutely, absolutely. They must bring back Sirit Sasa cricket
Yes.
globally. So I believe that it doesn't have to favor some and not favor some. So let's all be equal before the eyes of cricket.
Okay, so let's bring it back home, man. Our T20 World Cup squad selection. I saw it and I was like, is this the best that we can give? But remember, I've said this couple of times here in this podcast that our coach, Shukri Conrad, must not think like he is Rasi Rasmus and he can win with any team that he selects. And my conclusion is that he's a brilliant coach, a brilliant red ball coach, but I feel like we need a white ball coach. Your thoughts, sir?
Most definitely, I think in the past World Test Championship cycle, yeah, I would definitely say he was the coach of that cycle. And then man, it has not been showing in fact on the white ball format. And
Yes.
most definitely I agree with you because even the squad selection has been controversial. So it's been the most red hot topic to everyone ever since the announcement of the squad to the world. So
Yeah. But you know, fate has its way of playing out, man. We saw the injury of Ryan Rickleton, not the injury of Tony Dizzosi and Donovan Ferreira, and of course, Ryan Rickleton and Tristan Stamps were brought in. But there is still that question of why did you leave Ortinel Bartman out? Your view, sir?
I think we all should agree that we feel that the announcement was pretty much premature because there was an ongoing SA20 tournament going on. So the squad was announced amidst that, and then glimpses of performing players came in, and funny enough, the ones that were not selected were the ones performing more. And I'm a firm believer that if you go into such a tournament, you need players who are in red hot form because the dynamics of a T20 match, it can go either way. So you need someone who's there already. So yeah, man, it was controversial that Rix was left out. It all raised questions why. And Oti has been performing top performer, top leading wicket taker in the recently concluded season, man. And yeah, man. So even the selection of the young Kwena brought about a lot of questions. Striking the balance between new generation and experience platform. I would add to that the platform. So yeah, man. As you said, as fate would have it, we saw a couple of injuries, and then Rix was brought in, man. So yeah, man. So I think it's a tough one, but yeah, man. I think in the future is one to be considered, Oti Bartman. But yeah, my only concern was that. And then now with Tony Rizzosi having not taken part in cricket in recent times, brought about the question as to what criteria was used for him to be selected. So man, it was one of those. And so yeah, I'm just happy that Rick is back in the squad, and Tristan Stubbs is back in the squad. I think we need the performance of the final in the T20 World Cup. That's all we need from him. Apart from that, I'm good.
Yeah, and I will always back the young generation, Mr. Phale, and I'm so glad that Dival Brevis is there, Kwenama Parker is there, and with choosing between Tristan Stubbs and Luandre Pretorius, I have went with Luandre Pretorius, but this is not the squad that we can expect much from. I think it is just a throw of the dice. We are just going there and hope for the best.
I think I might have to disagree with you on that one.
Yes.
With the recent edition of Stubbs and Rix, man, I think we stand a good chance of putting up a challenge to whoever that we're playing against. We've seen top performers. Ryan Rickleton is there. Dival Brevis is there. Queenie is there. So I have no doubt in them. So man, I'm quite positive now that we those two were brought in, and then we need the momentum. We need to carry the momentum going forward with what's been happening in the recently concluded SA20.
The West Indies is in the country. It's one of those preparatory tour. And after 50-odd innings, we saw Aiden Markram, getting 80s because he's been stuck on 70s for the longest of time. The captain. Will he be the captain? Fantastic when it comes to the World Cup.
Judging from what he did yesterday, man, it was easy to watch. It was a great performance. I must give it to him. And then it was an all-round team performance, man. Luandre came in, did what he did, and then when Rix and came in to join Makram in the middle of the pitch, they just played magic, man, which was great to see that they are ticking. And then, as we're counting down weeks for that. So, man, I was happy. I was satisfied with our performance. I hope that we carry it throughout the tournament.
I am so worried about KG Rabada, man. I think his star power is dimming a little bit. I don't know when last did we saw him being the headliner, after a game. He's just been operating quietly lately, and I don't know if maybe it's a game management, maybe it's tired. I don't understand. And now I think he's one of the senior player leading to the World Cup, but KG Rabara is not the same.
You know, the funny thing about this shorter version of the game is that it's unpredictable. Whether you putting in good length balls, whether you're putting it in that way, and most often than not, bad balls are the ones to get wickets and dispatched because it's just the throw of the bat, man. So yeah, man, we know his quality. We're not doubting it. So I'm hoping that he comes back we refreshed, with the mind refreshed, and with this goal and target being I want to do the best for my country in the T20 World Cup, and then hope he delivers. And you know him and the subcontinent is always been gun and fire, so we expect that he peaks right through the tournament.
Let's leave it here, Mr. Phale. Thank you so much, man, for doing this thing with me. I am Kgatliso Olorato, and I am out of here.
Yeah, thank you very much for this exciting episode that we had. I'm Bakang Phale alongside my co-host or my host. So yeah, man. So yeah, we hoping that you still gonna subscribe to our channel and support our channel and let us grow. And we promise to give you nothing but the best and exciting cricketing reviews and news and controversies. So yeah, man, please click on the subscribe and then follow us, and then yeah, we in it for a good one. Thank you very much. Signing out. Peace.